Let's talk about what's going on with Gretchen Carlson, the former Fox News anchor, and her lawsuit against News Corporation, the parent company of Fox News. I'll give you the headline first. News Corporation, the parent company of Fox News, has settled Gretchen Carlson's sexual harassment lawsuit for $20 million. The allegations of sexual harassment took out the chairman of Fox News, Roger Ailes. Of course, he escaped it with a paltry $40 million golden parachute. And then a settlement that we now have learned is in the $20 million range for Gretchen Carlson. Not a good day at Fox News yesterday. $20 million settlement for Gretchen Carlson. Greta Van Susteren, and we'll talk about this later, also quit, but we'll get to that a little bit later in the show. And specialists who work in employment law say that the $20 million payout to Gretchen Carlson is the largest known settlement for a single plaintiff sexual harassment suit. There have been $20 million settlements when you have a group of plaintiffs saying we've all been sexually harassed. But this is a $20 million settlement just for Gretchen Carlson. And fascinatingly, this tells us a lot about how these incidents often work, Rachel. Roger Ailes, the guy accused by 20 women of sexual harassment, gets $40 million when he resigns. Gretchen Carlson, one of the victims of sexual harassment, gets $20 million. The guy who did the harassing came out way ahead in terms of the money. And I'm sure it's no shock to you that this is the way it worked out.
There's no shock at all, but it's also kind of a deceptive culture in general, because I feel like she kind of painted herself as this anti-intellectual and
Right.
and was saying, okay, I need to Google certain words because I don't know their meaning. And then she's also educated by Stanford and Oxford. So I don't really understand if this is just a product of the culture there, or if maybe this is someone saying, okay, he was still in power, so he's going to come off in a better place than she is.
Later, we're going to talk about Phyllis Schlafly, who passed away, and the implicit contrast between what she stood for deliberately and what she actually represents. Gretchen Carlson, in her character that she played on Fox News, as Rachel is pointing out, stood for the one who was not concerned about proactively advocating for women's rights in her I'm the Fox News blonde talking head personality. She stood for the idea that the free market should decide and that everything is just fine and women are making just as much money as men and the gender pay gap is not something we should worry about, etc. And she ended up being a victim of the system that she pretended didn't exist. And some people still believe Roger Ailes did absolutely nothing wrong, that News Corporation settled this because they just wanted it to go away. If you have 20 allegations of sexual harassment against the guy you forced to resign, and people know that he resigned with a $40 million golden parachute, if you thought you could clean this up PR-wise by not settling the lawsuit, my guess is you would try to do that, because paying someone $20 million is something you're only going to do if it's better optics than actually seeing this continue. And there's no doubt in my mind whatsoever that the fact that Fox News settled the Gretchen Carlson case, and two other cases, by the way, of those roughly 20 women so far, is because it would have been even worse for them if these things actually went into trial or arbitration. I've talked about how people of all ages, but particularly millennials, are owning cars less and participating more in the sharing economy. And one of the more popular options is Zipcar, which gets you a car when you want it, when you need it. They offer all sorts of cars, SUVs, hybrids, whatever you need. It includes insurance and it includes gas. You just pay for the time that you actually use the car. And you can reserve the car online, from your smartphone, over the phone. Then you unlock it with your Zip card. Each car share member reduces their personal CO2 emissions by between 1,100 and 1,600 pounds per year. For our audience, Zipcar is offering $25 of free driving credit if you sign up at joinzipcar.com/David. Support our show, reduce your carbon emissions and your spending on cars. Sign up at joinzipcar.com/David.